Hello there, and thanks once again for joining us in our ongoing live coverage of the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League. And today we take you back to the ceremonial home of football, Kumbiles, where there is quite an intriguing clash indeed. I'm Charles, legendary CNN Mabika. At Rufaro Stadium, the Green Machine, Caps United, host the Panthers, Moors. And do you know, you probably know, there's only one side so far in Zimbabwe that has put temporary brakes on the Green Machine Express train. That's only Gezi Platinum. That's the only team that managed to beat Caps United this season. Can Moors do it? That is the big question because they might have something in their favor. The Panthers, that is, because last year Caps United failed to beat Moors. They met 3 times, twice in the league and once in the Chibuku Super Cup first round. And on all 3 occasions, Caps United were not victorious. The first game, they lost 2-1 at Ngoni Stadium. The second one, it was the Chibuku Super Cup at Ngoni Stadium. They lost 2-0. At Rufaro, it was a goalless affair. So, we will see. But Caps United will be screaming revenge. Let's find out now from 2 of our experts here from ZBC TV Sports who will be here to help us look ahead there. And I can tell you, I've told them not to talk about Middlesbrough because takaburiswa my playoffs kudzokera ku Premiership. Last night we lost to Southampton out again through playoffs, so I've asked them not to mention that. Let's say hello first to a living Warriors legend, the midfield genius. We used to call him Chief. We still call him Chief. Let's say hello to Chief Justice Majabdi.
Thank you, legendary, and good afternoon to everyone. Yeah, just looking forward to this match. I think it's an exciting encounter. You know, with Caps United, after winning the derby, they always want to keep the momentum. So as Moors, they're coming in from a win after beating Chicken in. So I think it's going to be something else as well. You know, let's see how it goes this afternoon.
Yeah, thanks if he didn't talk about Middlesbrough. I asked him not to. And sitting alongside him, he was itching to say, legendary, we'll talk a little. I said, no borrow. Right, let's say hello to staunch Liverpool supporter. We call him Jose here. I'm talking about Joseph Nkani. Jose, it's always good when you're here.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. So then I won't talk about Middlesbrough
Please
failing
don't.
to play Liverpool.
Please don't.
Yes,
Yeah.
we won't talk about that. Yeah. But today it's an interesting encounter that we are going to be looking at this afternoon, where Moors have always done a number on Caps United because it's on record that Moors haven't lost a game to Caps United since they came into the Premiership. But again, if you look at the last 2 games for the 2 respective clubs, they both won their respective games. So they are confident coming into this particular fixture. And I think it's a game that is going to be founded on maybe the mental fortitude of the respective teams, how much they apply themselves in this particular game, and also making sure that you avoid mistakes and just focus on your game and do the business for the day. So it's promising to be an exciting, explosive encounter for that matter.
Yeah, explosive encounter it promises to be. Caps United are number 1 on the log standings. Moors are number 8 on the log standings, in case you had forgotten. Right, we've got 7 other games happening all over the country. We will be talking about that. We will keep you updated on what will be happening. There's only one tomorrow that pits high-flying students, Rentals, taking on Dimbare, yes, who lost to Caps United last time out. Right, as always, we will always give you the grand entrance, which will be coming up, the grand entrance that were made by the 2 sides indeed. Yes, if you're just joining us, it's the Green Machine, Kepe Kepe Bora, Ma Kepe Kepe, taking on the Panthers, Moors, in what promises, like Jose said, it promises to be an explosive encounter because both sides lost their last games. Of course, Caps victorious at Rufaro and Moors victorious in their own home turf at Ngoni Stadium, beating Chicken in by 1-0. And well, we don't know. We will hear as well what Deco will be saying and also what Samaita, that's Lloyd Mutasa, will be saying. But Chief Justice, both teams flying high and after winning their two respective outings.
Yeah, you know, every coach, you know, when you're approaching such a game against such a strong squad like...
Sorry, Chief, I'll have to butt in there. Because, yes, we see the arrivals first. Kepe Bora. The Green Machine arriving there. And Chief Justice, I'll stay with you. And, you know, they should be feeling still exuberant.
Yeah, of course, you know, it was a big derby, the last game. You know, they are in jovial mood. And you can see the players with confidence, you know. Obviously, you know, something is carrying them to this game. It was more difficult in the last game than this one. You know, you can see, I think it's a very strong squad. He just made a few changes, but
just two changes.
Yeah, I think Adamanja is through injured. I've seen Brett is on the bench, but overall, you know, the team is very strong, and I like they always keep on their feet, and you find it in the last derby. You know, the moment it won them the game because they zeal, you know, until the end. But in this game, it's new against Lloyd Mutasa, but I think it's going to be an interesting.
Here come the Panthers. MWOS. Yes, they, like I said last year, Cape United could not beat them. The Panthers roll in there, and yes, that's what they do. Udzana. We'll have to wait. Kuti anenga achizotaurira vamwe ndiani. Well, we're probably talking about the Cape United supporters. Mozo udzana. Kuti Panthers aisiye kutamba naye. Jose.
Yes, Panthers aisiye kutamba naye. I think they've done well if you consider that they are the new boys in the league. They only came in last season. And they've done well for themselves. And I think it's one team that I think has gone on about their business very well. If you look at the way they are professionalizing the institution, and if you follow them, you'll also learn that they've done well in putting together structures up to the under 17, under 15 juniors who are meant to be a feeder channel belt for the senior team. And I think MWOS are here to stay, in my view. They are not just fly-by-nights who just come in. I think as an institution, it's a model that many clubs may want to look into, how they are running the institution, both from the resources management side, from the junior policy development side, and even the infrastructure. Look, they have their own stadium that they call home, so which I think is an institution that is built for the future. They are not fly-by-nights, and they are here to cause a dent, and whether they are going to do that this afternoon against Cape United, wait and see. But another factor seen in, I think, if you want to look at the fitness as the clubs are doing their warm-up routines there, these two teams played their games over the weekend, and that was on Sunday, and then Monday will probably be for recovery. And then Tuesday, it becomes training for the game that is happening today. So which might not be as intense as any other training sessions that they have. So I think the coaches will want to manage their fitness levels and their psychological side of things and coming into this game. But certainly, MWOS is a team to watch.
Yep. Close up there, we saw of Ishmael Wadi. He got the first goal against Dimbare last Sunday at Rufaro Stadium before KC Kudzichi Guida wrapped it up with a last gasp penalty. So just two changes in that Green Machine lineup. Just two changes. Kadamanja out through injury and Amidu being benched this time around. And Obina Obriel Chirinda comes in. And Chief Justice, that could be an ace in the pack for the Green Machine, Obina.
Yeah, I think he just looked at the opponent, and he's trying by all means, because if you look at the last quarter for against Dynamos, when Chirinda came in, you know, you up front, going up front, Cape United become more and more dangerous, and they started accumulating these free kicks just outside the box and here and so forth. But I think for with his experience, it's also important, and with his I think a long-time partner, they play together with Benura at Ngezi, so this is very important. And you see head-to-head Ngezi and MWOS the last time when Deco was there, I think the two gave troubles to the MWOS defense. So he's bringing in Chirinda so that he can cover up that gap. And of course, everyone saw it. Breta did a great game, but I think it's a tactical change. It's not about the performance itself, but it's just a tactical change, just to add fire up front.
Just to add fire up front, well, this one is a very, very interesting game. Very, very interesting, and we hope that it's going to be explosive. Like Jose, you did say, Moors are here to stay. And this is a game that I don't know whether they'll be overconfident or what, but this is a game that they will start in high spirits if we judge from what happened last season.
Well, yes, certainly. I think in terms of high spirits is something that we can ascribe to Moors because not only coming into this particular game, but their track record even in the past. And also, if you look at this specific game, look at them, they were doing their warm-up routines. They are confident in the psychology that they've never lost to Cape United. So as a base coming into this game is Capes Amutirove. Whatever happens, the worst Modzana, Capes, you can't beat us. The best you can get out of us is a point this afternoon. So that on its own will be a confidence booster for the team. But look, in football, anything can happen within 90 minutes. So within the 90 minutes, a hero can be born, a villain can be born. That can then turn around that positive, impressive record that they have over Cape United. But when I looked at the lineup for Moors, I also noticed that they have one of their deadly strikers, Billy Veremo, starting on the bench this afternoon, which to me might speak to a coach who says, okay, I want to manage my players' fitness levels after having played 2 games in 4 days. So maybe managing your resources, managing your players in terms of their fitness levels and how much the intensity of the game will present. But again, you also look at their roster. They have Innocent Zambezi, who is their captain. For me, he's a seasoned leader. He's a seasoned campaigner, who is someone who can bring stability and comfort in the Moors setup. So
former Cape United as
former
well,
Cape United, yes. He will know the DNA at Makepe. But look, his paymasters now are Moors. So for me, I think Moors is a stable team, and his lineup, his roster for today is something that is pointing to a coach who's managing the game, but also hoping to get a result after the 90 minutes.
Right. We look forward to what promises to be an exciting game. We did tell you that we've got 8 total games today, and the pick of the crop should be the one at Chawanda Stadium in the Midlands. That one pitches Hard Rock and Highlanders. But before we talk about that further, it's the time where we transport you into the coaches' minds by finding out what they are thinking about the impending clash. And yes, the first we talked to was Deco Tekshua Chiragwi of the Green Machine, before we talked to Samaita Lloyd Muntasa of the Panthers Moors. Take a listen to what they had to say.
The feeling was good, and like I've always said, it's one of the games that we've been playing before, like any other games. But we celebrate, and it ends there because we had also an important game before 72 hours, which is more important than to celebrate the victory. But we are happy to collect maximum points, and we refocus in today's match so that we can see how best can we do again to make sure that we will be also happy by the end of the day. Football is about history and current form. Those are two things that we need to work on and concentrate. But sometimes we really need to work more on current form that we have and make sure the objectives are different from the previous games that we've been playing. So I think today's game is another game, totally different. But we just need to make sure that we are as good as we can to make sure that we can collect also the maximum points, because we are playing at home and we also do not lose the points. But having said that, it's not going to be the walk in the park. We need to work very hard because we're also playing a very good team that can also play a very good football. So I think what is important is to make sure that we are geared up in all aspects of the game, that you can also give us an advantage to make sure that we can also come in with a better positive result.
The young boys have known that we played Capes before, and we were on top, and then the other way, every game is a new game, and Cape United are doing well for now, and it's going to be a tough encounter, but I think we're ready for it. I've always said to the boys, you look, we started well last year, but we didn't end well, and now we started a bit badly, and we should end well. And that's the message to the boys. And considering that we haven't won a match for the past year, and with the other games that we played here this year, I mean, history has to be broken one day or the other.
Right, history has to be broken one way or the other. Lloyd Mutter, do you know what? Moors have never scored at Rufaro Stadium. And Chief, that's what some might have said, history has to be broken. They haven't scored at Rufaro. They haven't won at Rufaro.
No, they've been losing 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0 always, So I think it's time for him to change the cards and start bringing in a result coming from Rufaro. Him as a winner, he used to play there. Rufaro used to win,
That's
But
right.
he also need, as a coach, he just have to, and especially against the same opponent. So obviously he has to win against Cape United. They are probably, like he said, the Capes are in the good momentum and they are on a good run. So he definitely has to also bring in something this afternoon.
Right. Chief, I want to stay with you just for the scoreline. Just for the scoreline.
I think Cape United will win 2-1.
2-1
Yeah.
Caps. Jose, scoreline.
Yeah, I think 2-1 to Cape United.
2-1 Caps. 2-1 Caps.
Yes.
Ah, hey.
He read my mind.
So you know what that means? That means I'm going 2-1 Moors, right? Okay, we'll see who gets it right. It's now time for us to join our two colleagues in the commentary box. Tindo Tendai Sibanda sitting alongside Makela Maxwell Mandizidza. We will be talking to you at halftime as the Green Machine takes on the Panthers.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us for this midweek fixture in the Kasolaga Premier League in the heart of Harare. Rufaro Stadium is the venue where the log leaders Caps United are looking to find fortune for the second consecutive time after beating fellow city rivals Dynamos this past Sunday by a 2-1 victory. That was the decider that was scored by Kuzaichi Guida, who I believe is going to be starting again this afternoon. They do, however, take on the boys from Norton, 45 kilometers from Mashonaland, who is coming into the capital to fulfill this fixture. A different setup altogether from the team that was leading on top of the table in the 2025 season. By this time around, they had 23 points on top of the table, but however, they are 7th this time around with only 17. They've never won at Rufaro Stadium since they played a goalless draw against Caps United, who are now the log leaders with 25 points, only a point above Hard Rock, the team from Kwekwe. A lot to be played for, but there's two teams, a lot of confidence since both teams played crucial games and 72 hours away from the last time they played. An emphatic free kick, a brilliant one that was scored by Princep at Ngoni Stadium against Chicken Inn, is the reason why Moors are walking with a bounce in their step. And of course, for Tekshua Chiragwi, coming from that embarrassment defeat from Blawayo Chiefs and finding their win against Dynamos is the reason why they believe they can go all the way. Still early days to say they are the team tipped to win the Kasolaga Premier League, but it's how you win each and every game and you take it all the way. My name is Tendai Sibanda, and once again, thank you for joining us, fans of football across the world, fans of football in Zimbabwe, and fans of the Kasolaga Premier League. This is Caps United taking on Moors, and besides me is expert, analyst, and football enthusiast Maxwell Mandridze.
Oh, a pleasant afternoon tonight. A very beautiful day for football. It's a midweek fixture, but the fans have been coming out. And if you were to compare the numbers of the previous game that we saw Caps against Highlanders, I think it's a very decent turnout. A very important game for both teams as well, and for Caps United in particular. And it's all about that recovery. After playing on Sunday, 2 days later, they have to play another game against Moors, who have had a very decent start themselves. And I think they will be wanting to put a dent on what has been a very good start for Caps United.
So now the teams have moved out of the dugout, being led by the match officials for this afternoon. The team in red and black. We're going to be taking proceedings in terms of how the law is to be administered during the course of the game. Caps United in their traditional green and white, taking on Moors, a team in blue. Different from the blue they faced against on Sunday. This time it's a blue from Norton. The Panthers, Mozana. So now we wait for the national anthem of Zimbabwe, and after that we are underway. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the national anthem that will get us underway for this midweek fixture in the capital, Harare. Rufaro Stadium being the venue. And like Mark said, a different ambience altogether. It was full to the brim when Caps United faced Dynamos on Sunday. But this time they do play against another team in blue, but coming from Norton. The Panthers, Lloyd Mtasa, looking forward to get his first win against Caps United here at Rufaro Stadium. The Ngoni boys up to the task. No changes so far, as he confirmed in the pre-match interview. And we now see the two team captains going through the toss, just being advised on the rules and regulations of the game, and the toss, of course, who gets to play where. And now they're getting the photo, which is going to be good for social media. Marks a lot of expectation. Of course, now we look into the match officials, Trinity Dirwai being the center ref, Edgar Rumeki, Fumai Ndombo, and Messi Maimbo being the fourth official. Now, in the center of your picture, the MWOS players in hands going through what I believe is a prayer, looking for divine intervention, looking for a higher power to help them where legs may feel short. And Caps United will probably do the same as well on the left side of your screen. Barely do you see match officials doing the same.
Yeah, definitely. We had some issues with the previous game in terms of the penalty decisions that were given when Caps United played against Dynamos, but hopefully we're not going to be seeing that today.
Of course, now we look into the starting lineup for the visiting team, playing in a 4-3-3 as confirmed by Lloyd Mtasa. No changes. Teddy Asbaye keeps his place between the posts, and Jeremiah Makangira playing as the left forward, joined by Innocent Zambezi, who's the captain as well. Valentine Katsande, he retains his spot as a centre-back. Tekshua Chiragwe only making one change. Obre Uchirinda coming in for Brett Amidu, who's on the bench, also playing in a 4-3-3. We're going to be seeing Chawananga Kawonga playing in that central position as the roving midfielder in place of Brett Amidu. But regardless, it's still a good team. Kudzai Chiguida playing in his favourite right centre-back position. Here's the man. That was the difference the last time Caps United played here. Richard Achiro, the captain, is also going to be marshalling and orchestrating the proceedings from the midfield. Nyasha Gurende and Talent Chambuko making that part of the back four. Not so much changes, and the crowd pleaser, the dynamic and exciting player Ishmael Wadi, continues to play on the right wing. But a notable absentee is the young Allen Mkombezi, who came on as a substitute and got out as a substitute due to injury. Is probably the noticeable substitute and absentee for Caps United.
Yeah, definitely. You really don't want to change it so much when it's working well for you, Caps United. Alan Mkombezi, the youngster who has been brilliant already, scoring 3 goals so far. I think they'll be missing him, but still a very formidable team for Caps United, as well as for MWOS, who are up to put a challenge today, this afternoon.
Hopefully, and now we are underway for match day number 12. Lloyd Mtasa's men start with the ball, attacking from your right side of your screen, going to the left, and of course the home team in green and white from the left side of your screens going to the right. I believe it's going to be a very good, exciting, and very dynamic encounter between these two teams with so much confidence in regards to their previous matches. And the goal scorer for MWOS, surprisingly not starting, scored a fantastic free kick, and you'd have thought that he was going to start as well. Princepe Magondo, but has been deployed to the bench and is going to be coming on, I believe, later on into the game.
Yeah, two balanced teams who have both had a very good start to the season. Tonight, MWOS themselves, not so many goals scored so far, but I think they've been defensively solid. Lloyd Mtasa, the man in your picture, has been quite good in building a defensively solid team, and now sitting 8th on the log table with 17 points so far, playing against the log leaders Caps United, who have been brilliant. I think Tekshua has to be given credit to the team that has managed to put up so far, tactically well disciplined as well, and going in front, that's where they are most dangerous.
So now MWOS attacking from the right flank, but Kudzai Chiguida is very much up to the task. And now an opportunity to score. Nchikambi is going back when he had opportunity to shoot. Play to the left side, Jeremiah Makangira to receive. Quick fit, and is defended quite heavily by Wesley Milanzi. But an unfamiliar decision from Chikambizi. When he could have taken a pop at goal, he decided to pass it back. Now they played short. An opportunity to cross it into the box. It hits the crossbar and still within their position. Another one into the box as well. And Makangira getting into a tussle with Obro Chirinda. But good moments from the visiting team, Max.
Yeah, what a start for MWOS. That ball coming into the box looked like a cross, but almost leading to the opener for MWOS. Cape United a little bit shaken here.
Now MWOS coming in again, looking to take the game as quickly as possible. Another one into the box, but the defense is up to the task. Now the captain takes a pop. Inches just above the crossbar, and that could have been the opener for MWOS, playing with intent so far.
Yeah, Innocent Zambezi from Raids. After another very good cross into the box, deflected there, good clearance from Cape United, but on that bounce, keeping it low, and a wonderful left foot strike from the captain, Innocent Zambezi, almost giving his team the lead. That's the start that you have wanted if Lloyd Matas on the touchline. You're probably smiling. A brilliant start from MWOS.
Well, the idea is to put pressure on the log leaders, make sure that they make mistakes and concede as early as possible, and that might give Lloyd Mtasa his first win here at Rufaro Stadium against Cape United. Now Wilson Mensah. It is promising to be a good game.
Definitely going to be a good one today, and I think the fans are going to be coming up later as well, remembering it's a working day.
So another one into the box, Kawanga. Ishmael Wadi, a man who likes to go on his paces. And he does get the much coveted foul. He was crying for handball, and he does get it. Much to the dismay of the MWOS fans. I believe it was supposed to be going the other way.
Yeah, looked like it just hit him on the hip, but the linesman, they are raising his flag quite early. And the Panthers fans with their drums, I think they'll be happy with the start that the team have got so far.
Now Wadi playing it through for Talent Chamboko. Cross into the box, that is buried away. Ebro Chirinda with the least powerful cross cut back into the box. Now Makangira. Jaliwa scored a fantastic strike at Barbafields. I remember you with the marks in the commentary country as well, as they were playing against Highlanders. It was the goal that set the whole tone of the game. It was a crowd pleaser, that goal.
Yeah, what a goal. And probably a contender for goal of the season as well. And now Caps in this game just trying to get their feet.
Now Kaonga was looking for Benura, but the pass lacked venom, or power rather. Losing position carelessly there on half is MWOS. Chiguida, a man who's been trusted by Texas Chiragwi to be taking much of their penalties, except the one that was taken here by Takunda Benyu, which he went on to miss, and he's darting forward, looking for Wadi. Now Talent Chamboko on the left side, puts one into the box. Wadi! It was Benura rather. Good moments. It almost seems like Cape United have tainted the tide. It's now them that is attacking.
Yeah, end-to-end stuff here, but very good response from Cape United after being put under so much pressure in the early stages of this game. Only 7 minutes play so far, but looks like there will be a lot of attacking going forward from both teams as well. Good cross there, and first head on target for Cape United, which will definitely bring them back their confidence.
Looking for Makangira. First to deal with Wesley Milanzi first. Chamboko. Now Mensa. More seem to be running out of options. Caps United doing incredibly well to be overpopulating that midfield. And Operator in the wins a foul in the center circle. And just talking about how difficult it is to play through the midfield. Caps United seem to be congesting it quite well, making it difficult for Moors.
Yeah, he was way past him there, and the only way to stop play and recover was to pull him down there. Very lucky not to get an early yellow card.
Now, looking for Benura, but the tall defender carries him away. Godfrey Manasi. Well, since Moors came into the Casalaga Premier League, that is in 2025, they've played against Caps United 3 times, that is twice in the league and once in the Chibuku Super Cup. And Caps United have only managed to get 1 point from those 2, almost making a mistake. Under pressure there, the defender, Reginald Chinemo. Caps United pressing high and mighty. And they managed to do away with the danger that was coming from the team. And it just shows you how quick they are without the ball. They are out of ball possession. It's quite immaculate, Caps United. We saw it in the beginning of the season, how they want to quickly get the ball and force the opposition to make a mistake. Now Moors coming in and darting inside. And the captain almost making a mistake, which is then cleared by the match official. I thought it was a free kick.
Yeah, probably the referee not seeing too much in that one. But Moors not really changing their game plan, sticking to their plan. I think they'll be attacking very well. It's going to be exciting to see the tactics at play here. Like you were talking about the pressure that comes from Caps. I think that has been the hallmark of their performances this season. Putting the opposite team under pressure after losing the ball as well. And those quick transitions, as we see just there. I think it wasn't too much from Achiro there to warrant a foul.
Achiro, the man that was fortunate to not concede a free kick. Kawonga to Dominic Benura. That is a free kick that is won at the edge of the box. Innocent Zambezi, the captain, the skipper, being responsible for conceding position and just allowing his team to be facing a very difficult moment earlier into the game. Looks like there was a hand.
Yeah, just an unfortunate handball there, but quite clear to see. You see those given, sometimes not. But the referee was quite close to see it. And now Caps United have a very good opportunity here and to turn back the pressure and put it on Moors and get the opener.
I think there are going to be a lot of talking points when the season comes to an end in regards to what is a penalty, what is a foul, what is given and what is not given. But now we wait to see the 3 players just going through a discussion in who's going to be taking this one. We have seen Talent Chamboko deliver some fantastic crosses into the box. His last assist probably came at Babafis, the one that he teed up for Kuzai Chibwida. But it is him and Benura who stand behind it. Another one, not so much thought into it. I believe he could have done better, Talent Chamboko.
Quite poor there. Just trying to get it over the wall and dipping down. And with not so much distance from goal, it's always going to be a very difficult technique. Just there. And putting too much power on it as well. It goes all the way over the bar. I think Caps United have done well to respond after being so much under pressure from Moors as well.
So now there's a foul on a man that just got reintroduced into the game, Jeremiah Makangira. Quite unfortunate to just be introduced again and then go down. Looks like it's a head foul, and those ones warranty the match official to blow the whistle there and there. Because remember, we've been talking about concussions and head injuries And this is something that the governing body FIFA have been trying to minimize in the game of football.
Yeah, and just getting and talking to the probably a final warning from the match official. I think the landing was quite bad for him, almost landing with his head. But it looks like he's up and he will be ready to continue with the game. Quite unfortunate. You really don't want to be getting off the game so early there, Jeremiah Makangira.
Well, he's back up on his feet and he's going to be going on the touchline again. But good thing that he's back up on his feet. Very exciting player to watch. On his day, he can cause all sorts of problems. So now Katsande to restart play for Moors. Banjaliwa, the clearance. Now Ishmawadi looking for Obro Chirinda. Oh, good body movement. Now playing Benura. He keeps it in play. Obro Chirinda was asking for it. So Milanzi will come in and take the throw in. Probably going to be a long throw, one that goes directly into the box. Ishmawadi, a man that benefited from such a cross. Now Achiro, another one, and this time against Mchikambizi, who protesting his innocence to the match official. Hands flaring left, right, and center for Mchikambizi.
It looks like he hits
justified.
his face, and probably his hand was up, but I would say most of the ball went to his face. Just there, probably rebounding to his hand there, and the referee giving another free kick. And quite a similar position as well to the previous one. And I think Cape United really would want to do better, and I don't think we're going to be seeing Chamboko taking this one. As the captain steps up, Richard Achiro.
So Richard Achiro just holding onto the ball. The captain wanting to have a pop at it, but four other players behind him, Ishmael Wadi, Talent Chamboko Benura, together with Chawanangwa Kaonga. But Achiro removes himself from it. Now from 5, only 2 remain. And Chamboko, who you didn't want to see, together with Ishmael Wadi. So waiting in anticipation. Can they get the opener? Now Chamboko again trying to go low. And another disappointing one. You could see how cheeky he wanted to be, to wait for the wall to jump and then just place it below the feet of the defenders. So corner kick for Caps United. So corner kick comes in. Defenders jump higher than the attackers. Now Kaonga takes a pop and go, but it's way wide. She's trying to beat the defenders and go to the goalkeeper, but it is way off the mark. Not sort of problems coming in from this one.
Yeah, Dominic Daliwa, they taking it from ends. No, probably disappointed with Chamboko and saying, well, if you're not going to be scoring from there, then I'll try from distance. But another disappointing one from Chamboko. This time trying to keep it low, and the defense was right away of what he was trying to do.
So Reginald Chinemo playing with his anchor man, Sinotenda Mchikambizi. Now they can go forward. Clive Kwangwari. Good marking. Caps United losing possession the moment they get it. Careless. Moors haven't been pristine in regards to their passes. Obro Chirinda being allowed to move in so much acres of space. Chirinda again. And now frustration is starting to creep in slowly for Moors. They believe some of this scores being made by the match official. I suppose are not supposed to be called.
Well, it looks like a clear foul. They probably not once, probably 3 times. Just getting a tap on his legs. and the linesman quite clear inside, was obliged to raise his flag. I think of all those other ones, this was probably a foul well enough. But the fans and the players of the Panthers not really quite happy with those decisions. Cape United will get another chance here with a very good ball in the box from Kaonga. I think they'll definitely do have a chance.
So now Chawanangwa Kaonga has stepped up instead of Talent Chambuku. Probably this third set piece in a row will pay dividends. The last two ones have been quite disappointing. Now Kaonga deliver into the box. But it was Clive Kangwari who stood up higher than every other player. Another corner kick for Cape United.
Yeah, good free kick this one. A very good whip into the box. And most defense doing so well to keep their eyes on the ball. But it was a very good delivery. And as a defender, you're never sure where you are going to head it into when it's actually delivered with some pace like that.
So now Kaonga from the far side. Seems to be an altercation. And it's Kuzai Chiguida. Well, Kuzai Chiguida is a man from Norton as well, Marks. It's kind of exciting to see him having a go at his probably some players that he grew up with. Now Kaonga. And it was Chiguida on the far post who was just waiting. It seems like it's something that he does on a regular basis. Just escapes from the ordinary defender. And he likes to just go alone, unmarked. Now Wadi. This time no free kick.
Yeah, Cape United players keeping themselves inside the goal, and the referee probably talking to them there about their tactics. But another good delivery from Kaonga there.
Oh, Innocent Zambezi losing the ball. Obro Chirinda comes in to collect. Now Njaliwa. And a free kick. Probably for the first time going in the direction where MWOS wants to go, which is away from their defensive third. A number of fans have come in their numbers to watch as well. And you were talking about how it is a decent turnout considering that those that would have loved to come in and watch the proceedings live.
Yeah, good fun turnout as well. And just seeing there the captain for MWOS doing so well. Innocent Zabezi to clear that one. Very good cross from Kaonga. Cape United getting back into the game. I think they have now established some control in this game after the pressure that MWOS was exerting in the early minutes as well. 20 minutes into the game, I think Tekshwa Chiragwi will start probably to feel like his team is getting into their usual game plan as well now.
So Kuzai Chiguida. And that earlier challenge by Innocent Zambezi on Obro Chirinda. These two are having a go at each other. It's a fierce contest between the striker and the defender. There's a lot of dynamism coming in from Cape United, especially the forwards. Barely can pick, and as the frustrated figure of Floyd Mtasa, he wants things to go his way. They haven't been going well for the better part of the season, getting into match day 12. Only having a 36% win rate, and by this time last season, he was on top of the table with 23 points. And match day 11, he had played against Tel 1, and the match ended in a 2-2 draw. It just cemented their place on top of the table, but it has been difficult in this 2026 season. Innocent Zambezi whipping one into the box. Benura not releasing quickly. I think Cape United would have been poised to go on a quick counter, but he just decided to keep the ball for way too longer.
Yeah, then for Lloyd Mutasa, he'll be disappointed, especially with not being up the table. Now sitting 8 goals, winning 4 of the 11 that have played already, and only losing 2. I think it's not so bad, but if we were to compare to their previous season, I think they have not been scoring as freely as well. But looks like things are about to change going later into the season, also coming from a very good win against Chicken.
Now last season he went into the half time or the half point of the season without losing a game, which was rather impressive. a lot of the traditional fans in Zimbabwe were worried that a newcomer was going on to clinch the title in his first season. But instead of MWOS, it was another newcomer, Scotland, then went on to get it in their maiden season as well. And that's Nigel Makumbe going down with an injury. Looks like he's in discomfort, just holding his knee there. And medical assistance just comes in time to look into the challenge from Milanzi.
It was definitely a foot on him from Milanzi. It really didn't look like intentional, but Milanzi has to be very careful now. Also was involved in that challenge. Yes, Clive Pangwari, and now putting another foot on Nigel Makumbe. The referee has already given him a talking to. And he has to be quite careful in his next challenges as well. Talking about new teams coming through, I think also Hard Rock has been quite brilliant in this title chase. Cape United still holding on top of the log table, and these are the games that matter. Midweek fixture after only a 2-day turnaround. Players are going to be quite fatigued as well, and there's one take shot you are going to rotate that squad, but not making so many changes, not wanting to change the winning formula. And, if they can get 3 points here going into the weekend fixes as well, that will definitely give them an advantage on top of the log table. Just there, I think, probably a foul there.
So Jeremiah Makangira will take the free kick that will get us underway after there was a stoppage in play, and another disappointing one from MWOS. Talent Champoko. Maybe there was a nudge from behind to bring Wilson Mensah. Two players that almost look alike. Wow, the momentum of the game, the tempo has just been slowed down due to the number of recurring fouls. That's the earlier challenge here. Of course, it was a push from behind.
Well, it really didn't look like that was much. Quite dramatic, the fall as well, just to get that free kick. Wow, the game just slowing down a little bit, but it has been a very good 25 minutes so far going into the 25th. And MWOS still say they still have something to say in this first half. They have been very good as well going forward, and Cape United have responded very well.
So now Wilson Mensah and Jeremiah Makangira, the two players that definitely know what they want to do with the ball. Mensah, and MWOS an opportunity to lead. A goal line clearance, pandemonium in the box. How could they not break the deadlock, MWOS? But it almost seemed like it was poised for them to do so.
Wow, Godfrey Manasseh with an open goal, not being able to direct it in towards goal. After a free kick, a deflection there, and also chances all around, and a goal line clearance after that strike from Valentine Katandi. But Manasseh, he should have been putting MWOS one up as well. A chance from nowhere after that deflection. Oh my, Cape United, they definitely have survived that one.
Now going on the counter, and that's a free kick that I think will get a yellow card, the first for the game. And it is the man that could have put MWOS in front, and instead he puts his team in front, and who gets the first yellow card? A foul on Talent Champoko. But just looking into that earlier incident, Valentine Katsandi and a striker's position could have done so much better for Lloyd Mtasa. But you can talk of how MWOS did not capitalize, but the last-ditch defending from Cape United.
Brilliant on goal line, but there Manasseh getting the yellow card. I think it's just the frustration after missing that golden opportunity, sliding in to get a well-deserved yellow. Good defending from Cape United on the goal line, watching the ball. And it looked like a team on top. That you will definitely have those scary moments as well. But Godfrey Manasseh definitely should have done better.
So a first substitution has been made by MWOS, Godfrey Manasseh getting the yellow card, but we've just seen Marceline Mililo being introduced in place of Nigel Makumbe. So that's an injury forced substitution, quite unfortunate. Now Kaonga going direct, and there was Kuzaichi Guida crying for it.
Yeah, it looked like a strike more than a cross there from Kaonga. Good whip as well, but just too much power on that one. After surviving that attack from Moz, Cape United would have wanted to punish them with the opener here, but there's been all happening in the past few minutes. Definitely goals will be coming in this game.
So quite unfortunate for Nigel Makumbe to be forced out of play. He's been replaced by Marceline Mlilo. So it's an injury for substitution. The first one for the game. Yeah, that's the goalkeeper who's been enjoying his time in office. It's always good when you're playing for the winning team. Makalani. Now Kaonga. Being allowed to twist and turn. Achiro. Almost confusion for Caps United. Now Morse on the far side. They can now start charging for the cross into the box. And Jeremiah Makangira was just lurking in behind Kuzai Chukwida. But Magalani was too quick to get to the ball.
Godfrey Manasseh with the post there, but just giving an advantage to the goalkeeper who collected ball.
Ishmael Wadi complaining to the match official that he was disturbed, he only wanted to take that quick throw. Machiro trying to play it behind the strikers. Benura concerted position. Now Makangira, it's going to be too high for him, of course.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of Wadi as far, and you all know how he really wants to get the crowd going as well. Both his own crowd and the opposite side. And scoring that crucial open against Dynamos. He has been one of the best players so far. Cape United, Ishmael Wadi, probably enjoying one of his best seasons so far.
Jaliwa will play forward to Wadi. Now good control to bring it down. Wadi going for pace, but good defending from Reynald Chinemo. Exactly how you fend off a tricky customer.
Yeah, good take from Wadi. Trying to beat his marker for pace after a lovely takedown of the ball.
Achiro to Jaliwa. Obracherina just running behind. Good lower body strength from Jirinda. Jaliwa was trying to go on the half turn, but Clive Kongari was keeping tabs on him. It's gone out for a throw in. It has been frustrating for so far for Jeremiah Makanga, not being given the room that he wants. Achiro now. Another loose pass going forward. A very tame game in terms of creativity. Lackluster in that regard. We haven't seen that creativity from either side. Maybe instead of going for industrialism as to see why Obero Chirinda is in it, you would have wanted to see Bretta Mead, the man who usually gives color when things are a little bit gray. Oh, played through now. Benura trying to go on a 360. Obero Chirinda. Now Kaonga forcing his way through and ends up conceding a foul.
Yeah, it's just been the completion of those moves that start so good, especially for Cape United. But on that final area into the box, we probably just want a little bit of magic. I think Moz have done better in terms of the chances that they've created so far. They on the half 10 and very good marking, just managing to steal the ball. They for Moz, I think they've had much of the better chances this afternoon.
Innocent Zambesi looking for Mensah. Now Mensah can take a pop, but there is a deflection. Makangira keeps it in play and just puts his stars on Milanzi. And another miscue coming in from Mensah again. I think the ball was just a little bit higher, but Milanzi still on the ground after that exchange with Jeremiah Makangira.
I think Makangira definitely got most of the ball. I think it's just there's after effects of that challenge on him. And I think the referee did well not to blow for a foul there. Probably his foot getting stuck on the piece as well as that cross was coming in. Lovely to see him getting up on his feet. Milanzi. Mons as well, it's just as we go towards the end of the first half. Playing so well, decent cross into the box and not take us that time around as well. And making sure that they keep on piling on the pressure on Cape United.
Well, we did talk to Lloyd Mtasa before the game, and he was talking about how much his side hasn't changed from the team that played against Chicken Inn. And he says it's not tactical, but rather missing some of their star players due to injury. And Max, if you remember when MWOS came to play against Dynamos in this very stadium, it was one of their big strikers, the Namibian Day12, who then got substituted due to injury. Would have wanted to see him play. It was beautiful games like this.
Yeah, Day12. Also remembering him taking the long throws as well. Quite a well-built player with a very huge physical presence. I think he would have done most of the hard work for them going forward as well. But I think they've been quite balanced so far. Being able to adjust when you miss a player, I think it's a very important aspect of the game in what will be a very long season as well.
Of course, another good player for MWOS missing is Atta Banda, who's not on the team sheet this afternoon. Now Wadi, Innocent Zambezi clears. Now Makangira, who have to beat Obrao Chirinda. Oh, that's a foul, a push from Obrao Chirinda. That almost sent Makangira on the dugout. Now that's the recent footage of him being pushed by Obrao Chirinda. That's a dangerous push. And instead it is the MWOS bench and technical team that gets carded. But I think they're justified in raising that complaint. It wasn't the best of shoulder barges from Obrao Chirinda.
Well, Makangira, as long as the player is on the run, even if it looks like a little push, it took him off balance, going on, almost crossing towards the fence as well. And I think it's the reaction that came from the bench. Lord Mutasa clearly not happy about that. He's always animated with Mutasa. And I think probably someone on that technical bench getting a yellow card from the referee because of their response. And they were worried about Makangira, who was probably going to crash with the fence as well.
Well, it's always about the safety of the players, which I believe the technical bench was trying to address to the first official, Messi Maimbo, who is also in conversation with Lloyd Mtasa as it stands.
Wow, they really don't want to get on the nails of Lloyd Mtasa. I'm not going to mince his words, and he would rather take the punishment than not say what he has to say.
Well, sometimes it's good to clear your chest, even if it's going to get you carded. Mensah, now Innocent Zambezi. So 35 minutes have been played here at Rufaro Stadium. And Lloyd Mtasa, the confirmation there on your screen, that is the latest man to get a yellow card here at Rufaro Stadium. Surprising cause. We Cape United thought they were going to be getting the ball, but it is in turn gone in direction of MWOS. The Panthers have been on the receiving end of unfamiliar cause. Foul after foul. Now this is what we talk about in regards to foul after foul. Just takes away the fluidity of the game, the free-flowing, exciting game that we would have wanted to see. Now the start-stop will just take away any momentum, and we end up seeing a game that is lackluster in creativity and pace and everything that will make it exciting.
Yeah, turning out to be a cagey affair, especially tactically as well. Did have a very fluid start to this one. MWOS really the team that started on top. Cape United responding well, and after that it hasn't been much of those clear, well-created chances as well.
Now Reginald Chinemo. Pass through the middle. Not a good pass from Godfrey Manasseh. You see Reginald Chinemo just going down on the ground. And this is exactly what we've been talking about. The stops. You're talking of a KGFA. That is exactly what we are seeing. Those little nudges, those niggles. Another animated figure and texture. I've been not excited to be witnessing this game that is reduced in tempo, and the Caps United faithful, of course.
Yeah, almost feeling their end as well. I think they've been very good in supporting their team.
How can they not? They are leading.
And well, that's the results of playing good football. And the fans have to be with you all the way. It's a midweek fixture. Some of them will be coming from work as well, coming through to the Faro Stadium to support their team, knowing the importance of these other games. They all build up to what will be a successful season for Caps United if they go all the way to win the championship.
Sakawonga was looking for Ishmael Wadi, the man who has been changing position since the beginning of the game. We wanted to talk about how dynamic he has been. Sometimes you find him in the central areas, he's playing further up, and you sometimes find him on the right side. And there was a boot. And that's not Mchkambizi trying to protest his innocence. But it's falling on deaf ears, of course. The whistle had already been blown.
I think he's saying that he was trying to hit the ball. That was not supposed to be headed.
That was meant for the feet.
Yeah, definitely. And it is up to the referee to make that judgment, unfortunately.
So across into the box. Jaliwa there into the box. But it has been parried away. Still in possession of the green and white. That is Makepe Kepe. So another long throw. That was Chamboko with his effort at goal, but not so much power. It's difficult to score from that range. Only a few players have managed to do so if you're going to be turning back the hands of time to 2014, where Robin van Persie did it.
Yeah, Thaddeus by good goalkeeping from him. They're coming out strongly and punching that one away as well. It's just frustrating for both ends as well, especially Caps United. We would have loved to have taken the lead already, but more really playing well on their end of the game. I still believe there will be goals in this one. It looks like the chances have been there, here and there.
So now Wadi. Benura just slow to get to the ball. Good anticipation from the goalkeeper. Thaddeus Bai hasn't been given much to do. The same as Magalane. The ball has just been played in the center of the park, and we were talking about how this game is lacking in creativity. One player with the pass that can get us underway. Achiro coming in with a dangerous lunge. Probably the first Caps United player to get a yellow card. It was almost a statement of intent coming in from Achiro. Definitely knew what he was doing.
Yeah, looks like he was just a little bit late there. Achiro, the captain, was usually the most disciplined of the lot. And I don't think there was too much on it anyway. I think he did catch his toes a little bit, but it's the way that he approached that tackle. Probably deserving of that yellow card. Also speaks to the frustration that is probably creeping into Caps United. And you've got to be patient enough and stick to your game. I think most have been able to frustrate them. And that man in your picture, they especially Godfrey Manasseh, should have been able to score the opener for Moz, and they could have been leading by now.
So the restart is going to be initiated by Moz on the far side, close to touch. 41 minutes have been played at Rufaro Stadium, and we haven't seen any goals or clear-cut chances except for Moz probably in the 15th minute. 4 minutes of normal regulation time. If anything is to happen, it has to happen in this last 4 minutes of the first half. A good turn from Clive Kongwari. Now Njaliwa looking for Benura, but he was trying to play for Obero Chirunda. who I believe was not get to the ball in time. Now quick throw from Chirinda. Kaonga. Now Makangira. Coming through a lot of traffic. Mlilo. Back to Manase. Valentine Katsande. Jalio intercepting in time. I believe the halftime talks are going to be very stern from the two managers. I would love to be a war, especially in that dressing room for Caps United. How are they going to be addressed by Tekshua Chirag? Now Brochirinda just allowing the ball to pass him. Wadi to bring it down. That has to go through Mchikambizi first. Mchikambizi playing it long from Lilo.
Lloyd Matanza will probably have much more to say about his charges because they've been able to create the chances, as we see some of those fans enthusiastic as well, and missing those opportunities. They'll probably come to haunt you if you end up losing this game. I think MWOS have definitely had the better of those ones.
So taking their time, MWOS, as we edge close to the half-time break. Now by looking for Innocent Zambezi. Achiro can be very dramatic at times. Achiro.
Well, for someone who's on a yellow, you really don't want to go with that approach again, because you can be unfortunate and miss the ball. And if you do miss the ball and go into the player, then you might as well be getting your matching orders. As a lot, Mr. Still is talking today when he got that yellow card. The referee has to be stern enough and being able to keep control of the game and not make sure that things get out of hand. And sometimes the only way to do that is to unfortunately hand out those yellow cards.
Reginald Chinemu just being allowed to dart through the midfield. Makangira with the cross into the box. Magalani being called to action. And danger is averted. Obro Chirinda losing that throw in. Thought it was going to be going his direction. A good run from Reginald Chinemo in that last instance. The way he just managed to weave himself through that midfield, especially for a defender, and that's the earlier challenge that Valentine Katsande and Obro Chirinda.
It looks like definitely a flick on the MWOS player. That should have been a Caps United, a free kick.
Animated fans excited to be seeing the proceedings on the field of play. Now Njaliwa being given room and a lot of grass to cover. Wadi, who has changed wings, looks for Achiro, and with that we go for the half-time break. Not so much to write home about in the first 45. Probably for MWOS, they could have been leading, but the proliferation in front of goal, they were wayward in regards to how they attacked the goal. You look into Godfrey Manase, who could have given MWOS the lead, but maybe for a defender is going to be justified for that. But apart from that, it has been a game that has been marked by a lot of start-stops, a lot of players going down, and that somehow just took away the momentum and the exciting parts of the game that we would have wanted to see. But it's 0-0 as we go on to the halftime break. Marks, your thoughts?
Well, I think it was a brilliant start, especially for MWOS, who did start well, and unfortunately there were so many of those start-stops towards the end of that half as well. But still balanced. I think Caps United still believe that they can win it. And MWOS on the other hand have played so well, creating probably some of the best chances, especially that one Godfrey Manase actually missed as well. But looking forward to the second half.
So now we link to the studio where there's going to be the halftime talk and the analysis. We come back for the second 45.
Right, halftime, goalless affair at Rufaro Stadium, Kumbiles. We started off like a house on fire, especially MWOS. Eh? MWOS hitting, you remember? Hitting that cross by Innocent Zambezi, formerly of Caps, the MWOS captain. And then we saw Caps United gradually coming back into it. So evenly balanced, I'm sure you'll agree. And I'll just give you, before we talk to Chief Justice and Jose, what has been happening throughout the other centers. This is all over the country, eh? At Chawanda, it's Hard Rock nil, Highlanders nil. And at Wadzanai, Agama nil, Scotland 2. At Baobab Stadium, Ngezi Platinum 1, Tel1 nil. At Sakuva, it's Manika Diamonds 1, FC Hunters 1. And at Nyamunga, ZPC Kariba nil, FC Platinum 1. And Chicken Inn 1, Simba Bora nil. That's at Babafield Stadium. And at Gibbo Stadium, Triangle United nil, Bulawayo Chiefs nil. That is what is happening all over the country. Tomorrow, remember, Herentals host Dynamos at Rufaro Stadium. Chief Justice Majavi and Joseph Nkani are still here in the studio with me. Chief Justice, evenly balanced and nil-nil, probably a fair scoreline so far?
Yeah, so far I think it's just an open game, you know. Both teams not really clear chance despite the one for MWOS. But I think Cape United, you know, heavy legs as well. They are not rolling. So as MWOS, you know, the 1-2s are not coming in. You know, we're just seeing, you know, all the players difficult to get to the next player. You know, all those passes, the neat ones are not coming, and it's not really appetizing considering what we saw last weekend. But I think a 0-0 at halftime it's okay so far, so good for both ends. It's not really showing up, you know. No one is really into the game, and even you can see how it is. It's just here and there, fouls and a lot of things happening in the game. Yeah.
I mean, if the truth be told, Jose, what we witnessed on Sunday, the Harare Derby, we haven't seen any fireworks to match that so far, unless if the second half proves otherwise.
Yeah, if we were to tell you that Cape United that we are watching today is the one that played against Dynamos on Sunday and won that particular match, you would think maybe we are misleading you.
That's right.
Because today we have seen Cape United, who I think in my view have been lethargic in the way they've applied themselves there, which for me probably might speak of a fatigue within the Cape United roster, even the MWOS themselves. Because if you look at the pattern of the game that went this afternoon, it's like it was the first 5-10 minutes of fierce exchanges between the two. MWOS took charge of the first 5 minutes of the first half, and then Cape United slowly clawed their way back.
As we see there, Jose,
their own chances.
Cape United attacks first.
Yes, they created their own chances in the maybe first 10 minutes of the game, but they didn't bother much the MWOS goalkeeper. But if you look at the quality of the threats, I think MWOS gave us more threats going forward compared to Cape United. Yes, Cape United fashioned their own chances, but in terms of maybe if we were to rate them in terms of the probability of causing problems, I think MWOS have the edge over Cape United. I think maybe it's to do with the creativity. I didn't see much creativity from both sides in terms of midfield patterns, breaking down the opposition lines, and maybe creating something the strikers can work with. As you can see there, it's a ball flighted into the box, a header, and then, of course, not to trouble goalkeeper Thaddeus Baye for MWOS. So, yeah, creativity lacking, fatigue maybe telling. We'll wait to see how the coaches are going to manage their teams coming into the second half.
Yes, maybe this game needs a better middle for Cape United, especially for Cape United, for them to really then feed off that creative genius that will definitely be created by Amidu. But MWOS, to be quite fair, they were not to be outdone. And of course, remember, I did tell you, MWOS have never scored at Rufaro Stadium. They have never. So they are looking, I think, eagerly for that first goal, Chief Justice.
Yeah, definitely, you know, they need to break the jinx. And of course, it's very important, especially in this game. You know, they should be more motivated. For me, you know, coming, you have got nothing. You are the underdog. You've got nothing. Just giving everything. I thought otherwise, you know, they were going to imply a more passing game. Because if you look at the magnitude of the game which was played on Sunday, I think it also affecting Cape United in F legs. So if you are coming into this game, the intensity, you increase your intensity. You know, you
see the MWOS attacks there, Chief Justice.
Yeah, you know, they tried. You know, that's Menza, and this was the chance. You know, they failed in the last. Yeah, you know, and lastly, it was Godfrey Manasseh trying to just bury. But I think they from the beginning, just get it there. Anything, you know, anywhere, anyhow. But you know, you wanted to make sure. But it happens in football. You know, the defense was quickly to cover up, and the goalkeeper also did very well. Yeah. You know, he's been fantastic. He's been fantastic. Yeah, he's been fantastic. And you can see the point blank. Though they're missing, so I thought otherwise they've got better chances. You know, especially this chance, it's gonna be 1-0 up for MWOS.
Yeah,
but you know, it's all about the approach. You know, what are they trying to do? You know, Cape United, they know they are tired, but they are not playing the way they usually play. You know, we know them aggression, going forward, fast. But MWOS now are just playing like them. You know, they're just coming in, settle, just play safe, get the ball, play safe, get the ball, play safe. They need to imply, you know, a more aggressive approach whereby they will start attacking, bring in creative and so forth. You can see the distances of Achiro and Njaliwa. You know, it's a little bit, there's vacuum there. So sometimes, you know, you just have to clog in the midfield. I see Muchkambi is trying to be in between, but he's not doing his best. You know, you have to always, we know him, he gets the ball, he keeps the ball, he is a player who keeps the ball at MWOS, and sometimes he makes a lot of touches, but he's releasing it too fast. So it's easier for the opponent if you play like that. You're not being effective. So obviously you're playing safe, and here and there. So all that they need to change in the second half, I guess.
Yeah. Now, you remember, I'm sure most of you will remember what I said, I think 2 weeks ago on one of the programs here. I said that I had been talking to Cape United's president, Farai Jere, and he said to me, you know what, legendary, if we reach 25 points, that's it. We've won the league title. Now, they are on 25 points. So, if Cape United won the league title, but a lot of people will probably tell you, no, not yet. But this is the gospel, according to Honorable Farai Jere, Jose.
Yeah, well, I think Honorable Farai Jere will be right to feel positive and inspired to aim for the league championship, which, of course, like now, as we speak, they are on course. But it's early days yet. But I think it's also to do with motivation and giving inspiration to his camp, to the Cape United family, to say, guys, let's keep believing. One game at a time, we'll eventually get it right. But for us to call it Cape United now, I think it will be too early. But from his, for his own good and for the good of the Cape United family, I think it's good to keep the energy, keep the fire, and keep the inspiration going, keep the flame ablaze. Because look, we're looking at about 3-4 other clubs that would argue and disagree with Honorable Farai Jere. You talk of your Hard Rock, you talk of your Scotland.
Talk of the guy sitting to your right.
Yes, talk of Dynamos. You say, they'll still come in with an argument and say they want to put Honorable Farai Jere on mute. But look, we can't deny that they've done well so far. And I think what has carried Cape United so far has been their solidity at the back. Cape United are good defensively. They don't give away too many goals. My only worry though about Cape United is their stories around penalty kicks. They are giving away too many penalty kicks. If you look at the way they are considering their penalties, for me they are soft. They are to do with maybe fatigue or wrong decision making, committing where you are not supposed to commit. They are giving away too many soft penalties. And on the other side, they also lost points at Ngezi through a penalty kick story. So maybe Cape United need to address the penalty kick conversation for us or against us, and then maybe that will also give them more impetus towards their chase for the league championship. But Farai Jere, Honorable, we like the energy. Let's keep the energy going.
There's something I just want to share with you. It made me laugh. After the game last Sunday, when I was coming out of Rufaro Stadium and people were coming to chat about it and so on, one guy came to me and he said, you know what, legendary CNN, what you must tell the PSL is that whenever Dynamos play Capes United, at Rufaro anyway, the referee should not award penalty kicks. There should be no penalty kick. And I said, how do you do that? He said, there must be a new rule just concerning Dynamos and Capes. That's football fans for you. You'll always get them. That is why they are the owners of the game. All right, a 0-0 it is at halftime. I've just updated you on the other games elsewhere where Scotland seemed to be running rampant against Agama at Wazanai Stadium, leading 2-0. Right, for now, let's cross back to Rufaro Stadium and find out whether MWOS will at last score a goal at Rufaro Stadium or whether Caps can stretch their lead from 25 to 28 points at the top. We'll be talking to you at the end of the night. We're just waiting to hook up there with our two guys in the commentary box. And looks like we might be seeing a change there, Chief Justice. Could be.
I think both teams, they need to change. You know, you need
Brett maybe.
For Captain Brett is a choice because he has got different runs. He also has got an eye. He can pass the ball. You know, in the third, that's where it matters most. I'm looking at MWOS. They also have got they still got to Billy Ferem, Marvin Mudzuka, and also the two Mrambiwa brothers. You know, they are also very good players in midfield, and they can create something out of it. And you need that energy. I think also it's the best time to make a change because whoever he has to change, they've done enough. And because of the fatigue, they played a game just a few days ago, so you also need to bring in fresh legs.
They both went into the half-time break. Not so much to write home about. A game that could have given us more, but ended up being lackluster in terms of creativity. So this is the last 45 minutes, the second half here at Rufaro Stadium. Caps United to start with the center, and we are underway. Njaliwa back to Kudzai Chiguida Marks. Now coming back into the second half. They do say the first half is for the players. The second half is for the managers. Expecting any tweaks, any tactical changes, any substitutions?
Well, probably going much more further into the half, but I think Caps United would serve for the opportunity to be scoring towards the city and probably their favorite side as well.
So now an opportunity to get us underway, almost seconds into the restart. Caps United could have well be on course. Now Makangira with a wayward pass. Now Manasseh being stopped in his tracks. Now Wadi will cut inside. Wadi just being put back. Wadi can pop. And by does so well to keep the scoreline as is. Fantastic run, fantastic cutting in from Ismail Wadi.
Now Ismail allows the city end, as I was just saying, where the Caps United fans will be. And a very good pass and a wonderful run, cutting back, almost being towed back there, but continues with his run. And at the end, just couldn't find the power to give to beat Teddy Asbai. But a very good start from Caps United, straight off the changing rooms. And I think it's quite clear what Texio Chiragi was telling his charges at halftime.
Well, good show of resilience and strength from Ismail Wadi. Was being pulled back by Richard Ochinemo, but never stopped short to be bothered. Kept on going, but I believe for a man with so much quality, a player of that caliber was expecting something better to trouble Teddy Asbai.
Yeah, I think that has been one of the concerns there for Ismail Wadi. Most of the times it does the difficult part well, and it's all about that finishing, which has been very good at so far as well in the season.
Now Makangira. And Milanzi just proving to be difficult.
Yeah, Milanzi, you remember in that first half with that goal line clearance for Cape United. Wesley Komborero Milanzi, very good defender as well.
Mlilo. Yes, Chamboko to beat. Now Mlilo. Manasseh darting forward, an overlapping run, but not the best of crosses into the box. Almost 2 shirts in the box as compared to the 4 of Caps United that way in. So numerically kept MWOS were at a disadvantage. Maybe could have waited. Well, such is expected sometimes when you send a defense-minded fullback forward. You don't expect so much in terms of their delivery into the box.
Yeah, probably why he missed that chance as well. But he has been making those very good runs, Godfrey Manasseh. I think he does it quite well in the overlapping runs as well, creating those chances for MWOS, who could have done better in their finishing as well in the first half. But Caps United looking like they have a very good positive start towards the second half.
It is the chance where you want to see the managers inside and what you would have fixed at halftime and what you could have told is late, especially when you're leading the log table. You always want to keep on going.
Now Kaonga teeing it up for Chamboko. Now Mensah, good turn, but has been brought down by Chiguida. Is there going to be a card for Chiguida? I believe not. But
a good play from Wilson Mensah, not accepting the apologies as well, and keeping on to their play there, MWOS as well, just there, and the frustration leading to Chiguida just fouling him there.
So now Wilson Mensah almost lost his footing. Chikambizi to Manasseh. Wadi just anticipated for way too longer to make that charge in terms of topping the ball. MWOS finding their footing. This has been the problem with MWOS. Every time you think they're going forward, they tend to look back and pass it back. The player down for Caps United on the far side of your screen, outside of your picture as it stands. And then now the match official has spotted him. It is Talent Chamboko.
Well, I think MWOS are just trying to frustrate Caps United, and just when we thought Caps were having that momentum into the start of the second half, I think Lord Mutasa's team has been able to recapture possession, pass it around most of the times as well. And as we just saw that turn from Mensah, frustrating Caps United, who would have thought that they will have most of the position going into the second half. And I think that's why they've been able to creep in back into the game most of the times, balancing it out with keeping the ball. You don't want to be giving possession away all the time to Caps United, who are probably going to be coming on you.
So that earlier challenge looking like the one that made Chamboko to go down in discomfort, and is now on the touchline getting some medical attention. So Magalani to start. Play. Nyashangurende to Chiguida. Achiro concedes possession. But Milanzi looks like he's going to get to the ball on time. Clive Kongwari. Both teams are losing possession carelessly. Not something their managers would fancy or would be proud of. Even the captain Achiro, who barely puts a foot wrong, just making those wayward passes. Shoulder barge from Milanzi. This time doesn't get the most technical bench upset.
Almost turning up to be how it ended in the first half as well. Not getting that fluidity back into the game. Caps United, I think they'll stick to their plans. Just try to play it and probably try to create a few chances and capitalize on those few that they can create.
Now Wadi finding it easy to dart from there. Wadi trying to turn again, maybe a little bit too much. but it has forced MWOS to go on the counter charge. Now Mlilo, Jeremiah Makangira, as Wilson Manson to the box, was trying to play an early cross, but the defense was well up to the task. How quickly our defense can turn into attack, that fast break, something that was lacking in the first 45 minutes, and I believe the game is going to be getting a little bit open as time progresses into this half. 52 minutes so far. Now Manasseh making the charge on the right side. Wadi coming in, clears it away.
Well, another very good run from Wadi that time around. And I think it was decision time for him at the edge of the box. Wonderful skill, just there, turning again inside. And he could have been finding a sort of a pass that tries to turn back again, and that's where he lost position.
Now Wadi looking for options. He finds Njaliwa, the cross into the box, and just too much overcooked for Kaonga.
Yeah, poor one from Kaonga that time around. Probably should have taken his time before making that decision, allowing his teammates to get into the box face. And that will just give a reprieve to MWOS when Cape United was starting to get those runs together. But they have to be mindful, as we just saw on the other hand. MWOS as well, very good on the counter break. And I think that will be the story of the day this afternoon.
Sotadius by the ball-minder, sending it long and forward. Mlilo. Now Njaliwa to Kaonga. Chirinda. Another wayward pass from Kaonga. Mlilo was not found. He was making the run on the right side alone, unmarked. Achiro, the captain, coming in clutch. And now a through pass. Now MWOS can lead, but good goalkeeping from Wallace Magalani. Exactly what you need from a log-topping goalkeeper. No wonder he's been trusted by Tekshua Chiragwi to be the man on the sticks, between the sticks. But of course, you'd have expected a better finish from MWOS. Now Njaliwa, a weak pass to find Ishmael Wadi. Oh, good turning from Manasseh. And MWOS going back again. Exactly what has been their weakness. Whenever they have momentum, you always find that passer going back. Aristotle Manyaba being the player.
Well, what a chance there for MWOS to get the lead again. And I think it was Marcelin Mulilo who just couldn't convert, and the goalkeeper doing so well to come off the line and to save his team there, Wallace Magalani. But a very brilliant chance for MWOS. What a wonderful pass through, and could have been 1-0.
By saves it with no problem. That is the through pass played by Clive Kangwari. You thought Mulilo was going to maybe dink it over, but goalkeeper made his body bigger, Magalani.
I did good to read the game there. Magalani coming quickly off his line and the substitute. He just couldn't tuck it under the goalkeeper, who stretches himself and managed to put a foot on it.
Makangira, who has been in a fierce battle with Mlanzi. This time he wins the free kick. Most of the times he was feeling hard done by the match official, but this time there's a reprieve for him.
Yeah, now seeing most of him, Jeremiah Makangira as well, quite effective, especially on that counter breaks. And this time around, Mlanzi just putting him down. But you see, Cape United have to be quite careful, especially on those breaks. We're just saying how it has become an end-to-end game. MWOS as well, not taking any breaks on their acceleration when it comes to the counter. And both teams really playing an exciting game in the second half.
So Jeremiah Makangira in a little conversation with Mlilo in regards to who's going to be taking that one. 5 blue shirts in the box. Now Mlilo to deliver. Oh, an opportunity for MWOS. Manasseh teeing it up, and it's overhit, overcooked. Valentine Katsande being found in a very delicious position to maybe just drive it with the laces, but this time it was overcooked. An opportunity that has gone begging. Mchikambizi, very good player. Mchikambizi was with Harare City some seasons back, also under the tutelage of Joseph Tangaringofa, who is now the assistant to Lloyd Mtase.
Well, more just being able to find the spaces in the midfield, because Caps United have been strengthening themselves as well. Going forward, the likes of Kaonga and Benura and Wadi leaving gaps in the midfield where we only have Machiro left behind, and they've been able to transit from that midfield spaces going forward. As we see that cross in there, I think there was a chance there for a first-time strike, but then Katsande on the bounce, not being able to keep it under. Both just bouncing about in Caps United box. Scary moments there for Caps United.
Now Chamboko to deliver one into the box. Now Malilo can now start to go on the counter charge. A good defending from Obro Chirinda. Makawanga winning it back. Doesn't get to Adi, who was the intended receiver. Chikambizi getting the yellow card this time on a heavy challenge on Talent Chamboko.
No.
Almost looks like it's a close call.
Yep, it looked like they probably got some of the ball, but not well enough for the referee's liking. And that's why he's getting that yellow card. And MWOS have been very good in how they've been able to counter-attack. And Campis is just coming a little bit too heavy. They missed the ball and definitely got the player there. And, I think that is a well-deserved yellow card, as you were just watching it on the replay. And almost 60 minutes gone and still in there, MWOS.
Chikambizi, the latest recipient of the yellow card, has gone into the match officials' books. Now Ngurende. Too much for Ishmael Wadi from Ngurende, who was trying to play a crossfield pass. Now there's movement on the line for Caps United as Brett Amidu is waiting to be introduced as he's getting the last instructions from Tekshua Chiragui, the manager. He will surely bring in that creativity that we've been talking about. Achiro. Kaonga jumping forward. Now Takunda Benura. Manase. Can he be getting the second yellow card, Manase? It almost looked like he was reaching his pocket and he thought otherwise.
Well, I think the referee just remembered that Manasseh had the first yellow. And I think to be all fair, probably not deserving of the second, but if he didn't get the first one, just there, it's a foul. But for me, I don't think he should have been getting a second yellow and a red card that time around.
He
but
did
definitely
take a foot in the path of Talent Chamboko, and it almost seemed like he was reaching for the pocket, and then midway there he just stopped and remembered maybe it's not yellow card guaranteed.
Well, if it was the first one, he was going to get it, but because it's already sitting on a yellow, I think the referee did well there not to give him the second yellow card.
So Talent Chamboko to deliver. They've received so many free kicks, Caps United, on some exciting and dangerous positions, but they haven't managed to capitalize, as we have played 61 minutes here at Rufaro Stadium in this match day 12 encounter. Six Caps United shirts in the box. Kuzai Chiguida riding to the back post. And almost, but no danger from it. And now time for the substitution. Is there going to be a double substitution? Amidu to be introduced together with Kennedy Mpomba. So Chawanangwa Kawanga being the first to be replaced together with Dominic Njaliwa.
Two tactical substitutions now coming in from Tekcho Chiragwi, who is now taking the game to MWOS. I think Brett Hamid will definitely add that tactical awareness in the midfield going forward, attacking, just being able to hold the ball and finding the pass and probably getting the clinical assist for Cape United. I think that's what they will be looking for.
So now Kennedy Mpombo will get his first view off the ball. The Cape United midfielder who was born and raised in England, was playing for Chelmsford, hitting the back net.
A very good free kick as well, and almost getting it to be a goal, but definitely looked like a cross. Just too much on it. Cape United. And we're looking at the watch as well. And, it's a game that definitely, after beating Dynamos, they would have considered as 3 given points already. But you definitely have to play to win those. You have to take each game as it comes. It's going to be a long season for them, and maintaining the lead atop is not always going to be easy.
Now Wadi trying to keep it in play. Obro Chirinda. So 63 minutes of goal. No goals have been scored yet. Both teams coming close. Now Thailand Jamboko. Across into the box. But there's no Cape United player just making that left run to find it. Milanzi and Makangira again at it.
It's been a very interesting battle there on the left side. Probably Milanzi winning much of that as well. I think it's been very good for Cape United this afternoon.
Now long ball forward, Mpomba. Mpomba looks dangerous, that tackle. And he has gone down and discomfort, holding his shin. And the medical attention will be called to take a look at that last challenge. And Ishmael Wadi just instructing the medical team to just stay put. Maybe he's going to be going back up on his feet.
Well, what he's doing his own assessment there, but it looks like Papa was going up a little bit gingerly. Wadi quite keen to continue the game, but a definite yellow card there. Very dangerous tackle on the substitute as well.
A little bit
of discussion of where it happened, but just it took the goal cleanly, and after the pass, wow, taken away. And there's a very good chance as well for Cape United. A foot on the shin, on the leg there. Those ones are always going to be painful. Quite a dangerous tackle. It could be quite a season-ending one if it had not gone quite dangerously as well. Quite lucky to get a yellow.
So Aristotle Manyamba, the defensive midfielder, the latest name in the match officials miscellaneous book. Mchikambizi. Seems like he's asking for too much, Mchikambizi. Richard Chiro will be looking forward maybe to take this one directly. But Kennedy Mpomba is also there with him. So he's going to be taking charge of this one. Now Mpomba goes directly, but not so much venom on it. Did jump over the wall, good dink, but then at the end just dipped too quickly. Didn't cause problems for Thaddeus Baye.
Yeah, Mpomba taking what he considered as well. Probably would have wanted to give someone else and probably tried to create a chance from the attempt, but going on range, but a tame effort from him.
Brett Amidu to Milanzi. Turning back, finding Kuzai Chiguida. Amidu deceiving him, Chikambizi. But he's going to be holding on to the ball for quite too long. Wadi keeps it in play. It's Manasa a bit. Shampoko first time cross. And too high for Benura. Makangira now. The Cape United defense have done so much good in terms of neutralizing Jeremiah Makangira, a player that is gifted with speed but Milanzi has been well up to the task. Now Benura. Mlilo. Now Manasseh, and he does get the second yellow card. Manasseh. MWOS are going to be playing with the men short. And it seems to be going at it with Ismail Wadi.
Well, quite unnecessary from Wadi again. I mean, the player has already been sent off, and he's probably going to be frustrated. And yeah, definitely putting his hand almost on his neck. I think that's what got Wadi set off there. And it's a definitely yellow card. And this time he won't be escaping that. His right, left arm well across Ismail Wadi's neck, and a shove as well. Manasseh has been looking for it, and the referee is left with no option than to give him the second yellow, and a well-deserved red card that is coming through from Manasseh.
MWOS we're about to make a triple substitution. Nchikambi is just going at it with Kennedy Mpomba. But I believe maybe in the earlier stages of the game, Lloyd Mtasa would have seen how much problems were being caused for Godfrey Manasseh, and I thought he was going to be one of the first players to be taken off. Different from Achiro, of course, who also get a yellow card earlier into the game, but where he's playing, not so much danger is coming through him.
Yeah, I think Manasseh, it takes away all the good football he has been playing after conceding that second yellow card. He should have been knowing that at any time, because the last time around, the referee actually took it back, like you were saying, almost taking off the second yellow. And now they have to make 2-3 substitutions at once to make sure that they can contain this game and at least get a point.
So a triple substitution to be initiated by Lloyd Mtasa. And just outside of your picture, he's also on the touch line, going through his paces like he's a player, Lloyd Mtasa. And the message that he's sending to his players is play with heart. We have never lost at Rufaro Stadium against Caps United, and would like to keep that going. You can see holding his chest and picking it up profusely, saying that we will not lose. And Matsuka, one of the players to be introduced together with Marambio and Magondo, Princep Magondo, who scored that brilliant free kick against Chicken Inn, the only goal that separated the two teams at Ngoni Stadium last weekend. Is he going to bring in magic in this game that is almost getting to the close of it? So Jeremiah Makangira has also been replaced. And unfortunate for Malilo, who came in as a substitute after Nigel Makumbe had been forced out, he has also been substituted. And I think it's a defensive tactical substitution.
Yeah, it's all about saving the game now for MWOS.
So now cross into the box, headed away. Now Brett Amidu finding Milanzi on the far side. Chirinde to Chamboko. Another one into the box. Saves by Thaddeus Bae. And I think from now on he's going to be doing a lot of this, because remember, the team is playing with the men short.
Yeah, Manasseh will probably cost this team the game if they cannot hold on here. Caps United will want to take advantage of the men advantage that they now have, and MWOS will be defending for dear life. I think Caps United now think with probably 20 plus minutes left, they will be able to get the winner, and we're in for quite some ending to this one.
Now Tagunda Benura just going to the ground, but there's no whistle there to stop play. Well, time wasting from the goalkeepers, especially if a team is losing or if a team is trailing. You'd expect the leading team to be wasting time. It's synonymous with African football. You always see the goalkeepers at the forefront of time wasting.
It does get to a stage where it's almost embarrassing tonight, some of those antics that we see.
Now Ismail Wadi playing through his favorite side. Wadi, this time he doesn't take his men on. Chamboko with what looks like a conversion more than a cross into the box. Well, confusing is green and white for the Sebos.
Wow, the fans not happy with them. They just apologizing to Boko. He had all the space and all the time in the world. And if you kept some other fans now looking for everything to be perfect now, since they have a main advantage. But that's how MWOS won't make it any easier for them. They'll try to waste as much time as they can and try to hold on and defend as better as they can, just to deny Caps United the win and perhaps take away a point from this game.
Well, now MWOS will be asked to defend a whole lot more than they were doing in the first half. Now Chamboko, who now can... Oh, Caps United! Benura with a glancing header opens the deadlock in front of the city end. And the fans do erupt in celebration just as much as he does. Caps United with the opener. Another assist for Talent Chamboko.
Well, after getting the stake from the fans, Talent Chamboko this time with a wonderful cross into the box. And just a glance there from Benura, beating the goalkeeper after that bounce. Wow, taken header. And going into the back of the net to give Caps United the opener. Good recovery and good response from Chamboko this time around, taking his time. And a very good cross to beat Teddy Aspire with the header from Benura. And Caps United fans are delighted with that and being able to take advantage of that main advantage that they do have now. And what an opener and what a goal for Caps United, the log leaders.
You could feel it was coming, and indeed it has come for the log leaders. Caps United playing with so much confidence after that red card. A fantastic marauding round from Talent Chamboko. No one tracking him and no one marking him. And he does add another assist to his name. Perfectly finds Takunda Benura, who in turn found the back of the net. Caps United 1, MWOS 0.
Well, it was never an easy finish for Takunda Benura. There wasn't so much power on that cross, but he had to direct it well and striking it home, especially with a bounce beating the goalkeeper. And a very good goal from Caps United. And just being able to get those spaces there, Talent Chamboko, because of the one-man advantage that now Caps United have, especially on this left flank, going in towards the area and putting in that cross. And Benura did the rest. And Caps United fans will be delighted by that one.
Well, that's the Caps United hierarchy, pleased with what they are seeing. It could be well their season, but we haven't reached the half mark of the season, remember. And now Obro Chirinda keeping it in play. Now Chirinda, not the best crosses from the talisman. A player down for MWOS, so they are now playing with another man short, but this time the match official does blow his whistle.
No, the fans are not happy about that. They're saying there was probably an elbow on him. I'm not quite sure what happened there. But it's quite interesting to see how much when MWOS were wasting time, now they're playing to recover. Yeah, it looks like there was a strike towards his head. Not quite sure if it was intentional or not, but definitely something to cry about there. MWOS now a go down. They have to get back into this game. Those delaying taxes are no longer going to be working now. They are probably going to be playing it quicker than their way.
Also remember, it's all about the Caps United momentum that MWOS will try to do it. They're playing with the men short. So any opportunity to try to neutralize that, they will take it with open arms. And there was the earlier chance by Manasseh on Ishmael Wadi that got him sent off. An earlier charge to the shower.
Those after there from Wadi was not happy about that. Clearly Manasseh now looking like he has cost his team the game now. Manasseh was not being able to hold on quickly. Almost 5 minutes after Manasseh went off, they conceded that opener.
Caps United to win possession back. Wadi. Back to Amidu. Now good fit from Obro Chirinda. And says there's a hand. Unfortunate for Obro Chirinda not to get that.
Wow, wonderful take from Tirinda. And unfortunately, he lost his control and went down that time around. Caps United now playing with some flair, wanting to get the second and seal their win this afternoon.
75 minutes have lapsed so far here at Rufaro Stadium in this match day 12 encounter, where Caps United are doing everything in their power to extend and maintain their lead on top of the table. Oh, sombrero from the newly introduced substitute. And the foul that goes against them. Now Caps will take their time to restart play.
MWOS fans not happy with any decision the referee is taking. Looked like it's a game that their team could have definitely got something from. Especially, we actually thought for some time they could have been the team leading it. And to go from there to a red card to Manasseh, and now to almost losing the game. Now a man down and a go down. And so it's going to be difficult for the fans to take.
Another double substitution to be made by Caps United as we are getting to the dying embers of this game. The candle slowly dying out, which means if Caps United want to do anything in this last 12 or so minutes, the time is now as well for MWOS. If they want to either salvage a draw or go and extend, they have to dig deeper within their punters' pockets. But do they have it in their heart? Do they have the grit to do so here at Rufaro Stadium, which has been a hunting ground for Caps United so far? One of the most experienced players for Caps United to be introduced, Phineas Bamusi, the man who has seen it all for Caps United, probably one of the oldest players left in the Kasolaga Premier League. You could talk of your Ralph Cowan there as well. Wilson Mensah. Ooh, Wilson Mensah. And now it seems like he got into a collision with his teammate Mchikambizi. Maybe that's why the match official didn't blow that one. And now the whistle goes off. Two players wearing the same color colliding and just going at it together.
Well, I have to see the replay to exactly see. It looked like there was a high foot there from the Caps United player, and they that clash. Probably three players all together. Just there. And he ended up getting into his play, definitely. But also a challenge from Chamboko, who came in from that other side. Chamboko definitely got a leg on the other MWOS player there.
I think Chamboko just came in from behind and just forced that collision between these two MWOS players. So Obro Chirinda has seen his minutes and has been taken off. Maroa will come in for him. And Ishmael Wadi, the crowd pleaser, the forever exciting Ishmael Wadi, will leave the field of play with no goal this afternoon. But obviously, you can't talk of Caps United and their performances without mentioning Ishmael Wadi.
Well, he has been a brilliant player so far this season, Wadi. Also topping off with the goals, also getting a goal against Dynamos and Texas Chiragi and the bench, just giving him some hug and some love. I think it's been brilliant so far, especially on the flanks, stretching the defenders, being able to create those chances for his team as well. And, more credit goes to him for what has been a very good season so far for Ishmael Wadi.
So Richard Achido has conceded his armband to the club captain Phineas Bamusi.
What a brilliant goal for Caps United. I think that will definitely give them much more confidence, topping off the log table, going all the way. They'll start to believe that this might be their season tonight.
Of course, of course. Now, Kennedy Mpomba just thought he was through on goal. The man who spent almost all of his playing career in England, also played for the Wisdom Youth Academy in his junior years, playing for Chelsham at some point, and then made the move back home, playing on home soil now. Moores finding him, Chikambisi, who can go for a pop, but it's wayward. Sending midfielders forward now, just looking for anyone who can pull the rabbit off the head for Moores. You never know where your luck might come from.
Well, it's just going to keep going. And there's nothing much you can do about the decisions that have already been made. And the red card that you have conceded, you have to keep it solid and at least try to create a few chances here from there. And you never know, football is a beautiful game. It doesn't mean if you're a man down, you're losing it.
So another exciting player to be introduced by Lloyd Mtasa. At this time it's Billy Veremu. So who comes on in place of Aristotle Manyamba. Well, the feeling is maybe we would have collected 3 points this afternoon at the end of the game. Now Maroa. Wilson Mensah. Oh, good clearance and acrobatic. Went for the spectacular Nyasha Ngurende. Something that the Caps United faithful love dearly. Billy Veremu teeing it up for Wilson Mensah. But Magalane anticipated that well enough to just make the right dive at the right time.
What a chance for Moores there. And Mensah not being able to put too much power on it. And that could have been the equalizer for Moores.
Now Bamusi playing it. Oh, Talent Champoko. Show me your number, he says. Bamusi with a left cross. And Innocent Zambezi lifts it for his goalkeeper. Now Moores, it's a 3-v-1 situation. Wilson Mensah going for the equalizer. Billy Veremu. After 84 minutes, Moores do find a goal here at Rufaro Stadium against Caps United.
Oh, what heartbreak for Caps United. Very good play from Moores as well. We talked about why they should just keep on going in the game and how beautiful it is, a beautiful game at the end of the day. And on the counter, we just saw there Wesley Milanzi missing the ball and Moores doing the rest to put that team back into the game with only almost 5 minutes left. Just there, also a miscue coming in from Caps United, and steadily that cross came through and it was an open net for the substitute to just slot that goal, Billy Veremu, into the back of the net.
Super sub, super goal, an equalizer for Moores. Almost looks like it was going to go into the net alone from Wilson Mensah, but Billy Veremu was just there to make sure that it does go into the back of the net. Well, the message from Lloyd Mtasa has translated exactly to the players. Play with heart, play with everything that you have to give. Now Phineas Bamusi. Nyasha. Oh. Amidu trying to head back his team into driving position. Confirmation of the scores. Almost 10 minutes separating these two goals.
Well, Caps United have to do it all again. And the 10 men of Moores have been able to get back into the game with that never die spirit as well. I think at some point, Lord Mutasa just edging his team forward, and that's why they were getting those chances, and Caps United would regret those mistakes, especially at the back after that long ball played all the way from the goalkeeper. And Moores just there, and almost only 3 touches to that goal to Mensah right here from the goalkeeper, and then Veremu with a finish. Wow, what a goal from Moores.
Was the goalkeeper supposed to leave his lines, considering there were 3 or so defenders charging for the ball?
Well, probably the goalkeeper panicking, seeing that attack coming through after the mistake from Milanzi, and that's when he started coming off his line, and unfortunately he was caught in no man's land. Now Caps United still have the main advantage, but time now not on their side.
So now 4 minutes, or rather 3 minutes of normal regulation time to be added or to be played here at Rufaro Stadium. forget the red card. Now this game has fallen exactly into plan for Lloyd Mtasa. That was Talent Chamboko. And a glancing ender from Takunda Benura.
Well, at this point today, we all thought that Caps had sealed the win and they'll be able, especially that advantage, until that goal kick from the goalkeeper to Mensah, being aided by those two mistakes for Caps United. And almost an open net, especially for Billy Veremu to slot it home. It definitely looked like it was going in anyway.
It was going to be going in.
Had to make sure. And now more switch again to the delaying tactics now that they have got the equalizer. And Caps United will gather around and try to figure out what went wrong. And they just have to keep on fighting. Still a few minutes left now. Not quite sure if there will be much time added on for them to get another goal, Caps United, but they will definitely feel like it's a game that was in their grip and they let it go.
Of course, the two players in your pictures that could have dealt with the ball but failed to do so, Kudzai Chiguida and Wesley Milanzi, just allowing Wilson Mensah to get on the receiving end of that pass from Teddy Asmaye. Could have been an assist for the goalkeeper, but Billy Veremu was just there to make sure.
Only 3 charges in that goal today. Well, if a man down, then just put it up there. And that's what the goalkeeper just did there. You never know what happens, and definitely we saw it that time around. Those 2 mistakes coming through, and Moores managed to find the equalizer.
They do say it's difficult to play against 10 men, and Moores are proving exactly that. Now, trying to go from distance! Moores! With a dagger at the stroke of death. A goal that is exactly going to go in the history books. Moores showing resilience. Caps United dejected. A celebration for the Panthers. The green machine losing its oiling in the last stages of the game. What a goal! Fantastic strike from long distance. Malvin Matsuka with a winner, probably for Moores.
Oh my, oh my. What a goal today. A strike from range, beating the goalkeeper, all hands up, into the top right corner. And the Moores fans going hard in celebration. Unbelievable scenes here today from Rufaro Stadium. Caps United shocked and undone in only 5 minutes from a winning position to losing against the 10 men of Moores. But what a brilliant start. Magical from Moores from the substitute there. So far from goal, just taking it on the bounce. And what a strike coming in, and Moores now have the lead. Unbelievable scenes here today from Rufaro Stadium.
That is a strike. Goal of the season, contender for goal of the season anytime. Now Talent Chamboko. Now Moores. Caps United almost. Now 3 minutes is the confirmation of time that has been added here to Rufaro Stadium. But will the log leaders find something at the stroke of death now, Marks?
Well, unbelievable to think that they're now trying to find the equalizer, but a very good turn there from the striker, Takunda Benura, not being able to keep it down. Now scrambling, trying to find the equalizer. Caps United in the dying embers of this game. But the Moores fans will be quite happy with what they've seen this afternoon.
Now Caps United are coming in. Now Brett Amidu. The deflection, corner kick.
What a game tonight. From being a man down, Moores bringing themselves to be lead in this game now. Take short rugby almost off his marking. Not being able to realize and to believe what he's seeing. And the 10 men of Moores winning away now as it stands at Rufaro Stadium.
If they do win this one, the Panthers, it's going to be a glorious drive home, 45 kilometers from the CBD, going back to Mashonaland West. Lloyd Mtasa and his Ngoni boys could be taking a win. And now Caps United salvaging a draw. Talent Shamboko sends a heartbreak message to MWOS when they thought they had won it, when it was right in their hands. The green machine has found its oil again. 2-2 in additional time. Caps United 2, MWOS 2. If there's a game for the first half of the season, it has to be this one.
Wow, Tamboko with a good header, rising up in the box, meeting that cross from the corner and beating the goalkeeper all hands up after also giving an assist. And what a game we have this afternoon. Only wish it could have been 10 minutes later on, and I think we could have been seeing more goals. But that will be the end of it tonight.
And with that, match day number 12 at Rufaro Stadium ends in a draw. Caps United 2, MWOS 2. Fantastic goals, fantastic atmosphere, fantastic ambience, and what a way to end a game that anyone never thought would see coming. A good day in the office for you, Marks, in the gantry, but a good game for fans who are watching the Kasalaga Premier League from anywhere across the world.
Wow, what a good showing of what the Kasalaga Premiership is all about tonight. Lord Mitchell, just in your picks today, was not quite happy with the defending at the end. They only had to defend that corner kick, and I'm sure they could have collected the 3 points. But Caps United fighting to the death, and that's the making of champions sometimes. And that resilience, even though they were playing against 10 men. And I was really just seeing those goals as well, starting with Caps United. But it has to be given to MWOS after we saw that red card to Godfrey Manasseh, and just staying in the game, and probably one of the goals of the season that we saw after that. And now it looks like they'll be taking away a point from what has been a very difficult game for them. And what a game that we have had, as well as we saw the equalizer there from MWOS, almost into an empty net. And from this point, we all thought it was going to end in a draw. But from that, then we saw again MWOS with this brilliant strike. What a goal into the back of the net and giving them the lead. And at this moment, Caps United looked digested, thinking that they had probably lost it. And the fans were in delirium, celebrating that before we saw this corner kick at the end. And that header from Chamboko, making it 2-0, and the referee blowing his final whistle. What a game that we've had this afternoon.
Minutes here at Rufaro Stadium, we do get a chance to talk to the managers. We start off with the log leading manager, Tekshua Chiragwi, the team that was well poised to get all 3 points, but maybe a lapse in concentration saw them ending up with a draw. Coach, good game altogether. Where did it go wrong for Caps United? You had the lead, but at some point, MWOS came back.
Thank you so much. I want to thank God. I know today it was going to be difficult. Why? Because you've exhausted a lot of energy when you played Dynamos. So I knew it was going to be very difficult in terms of energy-wise. But we are happy. The guys, they performed very well and also managed to score 2 goals. But when you scored the first goal, I thought maybe it was an advantage to us that we just need probably maybe to keep our shape. And unfortunately, collapse on the right side. He go inside instead of to keep the defense line. All of a sudden, that was a long ball and misjudgment also from the goalkeeper. But at the end of the day, we also failed again to pressurize when we've got a loose ball. Then it hit a very good volley. And we came back again. We managed to get an equalizer. It's better to get a point than nothing. So we are very happy for the guys, and we are proud of getting that point. It's good for us.
Obviously, Coach, at the end of the game, one would be thinking maybe it's a bittersweet result when you thought you had 3 points and you're getting a draw. Is there going to be a message to the players in terms of how they should have gone on with the game?
Yeah, it's part of the game, when it's going towards the end of the game, especially coming from that game that I was talking about. Obviously, they were getting tired in terms of their mental strength. So we keep on motivating them, and we managed to get a point so that at the end of the day, we go back and make sure that we concentrate until the 90 minutes is finished.
Okay, good game altogether, Coach, and good luck in your next endeavors.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. So that was Tekshua Chiragwi, the man with the team that just managed to salvage a draw at the end of the game. Mutalen Champoko coming in clutch at the last moment. We would have thought that the game was going to end this way. But a moment from now, we're going to be talking to Lloyd Mtasa, a man with a team that faced a red card. And now, Coach, we get to talk to you. You have never lost at Rufaro Stadium, but it's a game with so many emotions. What do you credit that draw to?
Yeah, I think for a start, I would want to say glory be to God. I would want to say well done to my boys. But coming back from a 1-0 deficit and we are 10 men, and then we drew, and then we take the lead. With only some few minutes, I think that corner kick was supposed to be avoided before it went for a corner. But at times you learn from your mistakes, you learn the hard way, and the hard way, that's how we learn today. But who are we? There is God above. Probably we came here, him already knowing that it's gonna be a 2-2 draw. So we take the point home and we re-strategize.
Coach, there's a point when you got that red card, and from the byline you could be seen pumping your chest, and probably the message was play with heart, play with soul, and that quickly translated to the game. Your players showed resilience. Was that the message that led to Billy Veremu coming in and being a super sub?
Yeah, obviously, if you look back last year, the reason why we probably took number 2 is because of that resilience. But more often than not, we're doing it at Ngoni Stadium. But then we had agreed in principle that we want to break the jinx. We haven't won at Rufaro Stadium for quite some time, and we thought today is the day. But we are only but human beings. There's another day.
Good luck, Coach, for the point, and congratulations for walking away with a point.
Thank you so much.
So that was Lloyd Mtasa, and first that was Tekshua Chiragwi, moving back to Norton with 1 point after playing a fantastic draw here at Rufaro Stadium. Now we're going to be switching over to the studio where legendary CNN is going to be back with the other team for analysis.
Well, thanks, Tindo. Oh, what great stuff there. The last 15 or so minutes from Rufaro Stadium. Football killing me. Wow, this was some exciting stuff. 2-2 it ended. And Chief Justice Majavi and Joseph Nkani were all up there. You know, we were all excited. What's happening? What's up? That's football for you. Chief Justice, the last 15 minutes, just fantastic.
Interesting, you know. Mostly, I want to say, you know, the last quarter of this game, it was really something else. You know, we saw beautiful goals, especially the goal from Verem. It was a beautiful one.
Contender.
You know, and also the header from Benura. That one is a glancing header. You know, we used to see Makwinji before doing this. But, but no, it's interesting. You know, the fans need the goals. They need the excitement. You know, and also healthy for the team. You know, I think sharing the spoils, they both deserved.
Yeah.
You know, they both deserved, and it's good. They were most they did very well. They were 10 men, and they were up 2-1. You know, it shows the spirit was there.
Yeah.
Look at the goal, the mistake from Jiguida, and the goalkeeper rushed off the line.
Yeah.
And actually, you know, it was going on its own for Menza, you know, but I think Billy, he didn't screen. He just wanted to be on the. Yeah, sure. So today he has got a brace. You made sure. Yeah. You know, sometimes you need this, but sometimes you might be offside. You get it.
It's still in the Caps United song, make sure.
Make sure.
Make sure, but Billy Veremu make sure.
Yeah, he did it at the right time. He was not offside though, but it was going to be painful if he was offside. But I think it's a good team effort. They deserved this. You know, they actually they were almost winning the match, but they slip up in the.
Right.
What a ball! Yeah,
from Billy Veremu.
Yeah, magnificent. You know, it's a great one.
Collected his ball. He actually looked up. If you look at the play there, he received the ball, looked up and saw an opportunity, and he let go of a volley. Well, Makarani, tough luck for you, my guy. You can only pick up that ball from the net. But
they called him Mbappe. Yes, not on.
Yes, Billy Veremu. Look at the range. Look at the power. Look at the precision.
Yeah.
For me, that's a goal that definitely can put a hand up and argue for a goal of the season.
Oh, yeah.
And then Chiguida coming in with a glancing header there. Yeah, he now has an assist and a goal in one game. So good for him. Yeah.
Wasn't that Chamboko?
Chamboko, sorry, Chamboko. That was
Talent
Chamboko. Yes.
Chamboko.
Yeah, he sent in a cross
assisted-
area,
yeah.
which was headed in for a goal, and then he headed in this corner. But again, look, Cape United family will be disappointed for having gone in the lead for starters, you know, and hoping that they are now in control and in charge of the game, only to allow the tenacious Lloyd Mtasa coach, the team MWOS, to come back, equalize, score, and then when we thought Billy Veremu had sealed the game, oh my,
With a beautiful goal.
Everything turns upside down. That's football for you.
whoever
right?
scripted that, they are a genius.
Maybe James Hadley Chase, or maybe Thomas Hardy, or William Shakespeare, the greatest of them all. He might have scripted this one, William Shakespeare. Right. I'm going to turn up for the books. This was like a minute to go to full time. We're just trying to ascertain. But listen to this at Chawanda Stadium. A minute to go to full time, or rather a minute into stoppage time. Hard Rock 0, Highlanders 1 at Chawanda Stadium. My, oh my. And then Agama 1, Scotland 2. This was a minute into injury time as well. Gezi Platinum 1, Tel 1. Manika Diamonds 1, FC Hunters 1. ZPC Kariba 0, FC Platinum 1. Chicken Inn 1, Simba Bora 0. Triangle United 2, Bulawayo Chiefs 2. A turn up for the books, especially at Chawanda Stadium. My, oh my. And, well, we always say this game, the football game, is crazy. You never know until the very final whistle. Well, tomorrow, make a date with us because we've got another explosive one at Rufaro Stadium, the ceremonial home of football, Kumpileza, where the students take on Dimbare in a game that promises. Just a quick word from you, Chief Justice, this one tomorrow.
No,
The Rentals, Dynamos.
I wanted this game, especially in the beginning of the fixture. Yeah.
Why? Why is that?
Yeah, it's easier. Because right now, I know, you see where Rentals is. They're chasing, their eyes are now like this, they're
So you're
coming in
worried
for-
about the
I'm worried
students.
about this because obviously in so many years, they've been troublesome, for Dynamos. So I hope the boys tomorrow can turn up it's difficult against them. It's difficult.
Right.
Yeah.
and Jose, and the Chief Justice is worried about the students. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he has every reason to be worried because
Yeah.
Rentals is a team that plays away from the spotlight. Not many people pay attention to Rentals. But if you do an audit of what they produce on the field of play, you can actually see that they are a decent side. They cause many problems. And then Dynamos, it will depend on how they pick themselves up from the derby loss against Cape United on Sunday. And then we'll see what happens. But yes, it can be a banana skin match for Dynamos tomorrow.
Right. Okay. Natara ndikati football kirimi. Well, that's just about it. It just leaves me to thank our two experts from ZBC TV Sports, Chief Justice Majavi and Jose Nkani. They'll be back with me tomorrow as we give you the students taking on Dimbare. And do enjoy the rest of your viewing here on ZBC TV from everybody in the ZBC TV Sports crew, fronted by our producers, Bevan Shinurai, Stuart Shoriwa, Tinashe Manyoni, and Gina Gwanzura. We say, remember to take care of your loved ones and each other. I'm Charles, legendary CNN Mabika. Until we meet again tomorrow, it's bye-bye for now.